Hello everyone, I bring to you today a standard match from the Global League. I'm excited today because I have the day free, the whole day free. Today's a Saturday, and I'm able to record a bunch of videos today. Today is like my dedicated day to just record content, which I enjoy to do a lot. So it's not every day that I have time like this, so I'm excited. So you'll see me wearing this black shirt in multiple videos, most likely. Because I don't know when these are gonna get posted. And also I'm moving very soon. Probably by the time you see this video, definitely will be already moved in to a new apartment. So different background, different everything. It'll be much better. It'll be much easier to record as well. Right now it's kind of awkward because I record either in the living room, but it's like really noisy, lots of echoes. And then if not, I record out here, which is the balcony, but it can get really noisy outside. I got the sun hitting me in the face. So it's like both are awkward. But never mind. In the other place is gonna be much nicer. And so let's talk about this match a little bit. So this is a special one because you probably know already, if you've watched some of my other videos, you know the second player called Tesla246, which is Tesla, is a player in our community that just really likes to play Adder. Just a big fan of Adder. Only picks Adder. It's not an alt. There's a lot of people that will just make an alt account, like a sort of like challenge account where you can only play a CO or a few COs. And that can be fun and interesting in its own way. But this person, Tesla, just likes Adder a lot. He just like, it doesn't matter the tier it is, tier 4, tier 3, tier 2, tier 1, he'll still go with Adder. And he has a very specific way of playing, a very specific strategy, a few key things that he does so that you can recognize his play. It's very aggressive and has really great tactics as well. Goes for really greedy starts with captures and then tries to beat you up with tactics, have that big income advantage, and then at that point, like, it doesn't even matter what CO you have, just overwhelms you with army. That's kind of like the general oversimplified approach of Tesla. And we have another player, this one right here, which is Sknaton, which is actually an alt. So this one truly is an alt, and it is Hampelman's alt account. Hampelman is a really good player, a top player, and this alt is actually, if you read it backwards, if you try reading it backwards, I'll give you a second to try to read it backwards, try to figure out what it is. But yeah, this alt account is a challenge account where he cannot make one unit. He cannot make tanks. So you'll see it says no tanks. He can make every other single unit in the game, just specifically not tanks. He can make medium tanks and neo tanks, stuff like that, but just not tanks. And in Advanced Wars by Web, if you've played, you know that tanks are a crucial part of your army. They're like, number one is infantry, right after it is tanks. It's like, tanks are so versatile. They can shoot at foot soldiers. They move out like really well. They have 6 tiled movement. They're pretty cheap. They only cost 7k. They can also damage all other kinds of vehicles except tech ops. So like no medium tanks or neo tanks, but they can shoot and do really great damage at any other vehicle, like land vehicle. So without tanks, it's gonna be really tricky and very challenging. And so he has to resort to all kinds of other strategies and other compositions, like lots of artillery, recons, early medium tanks, stuff like that. So let's talk a little bit about the map first. It is called Last Vigil, a great map made by our great Voice of Akasha. It's a tiny map. It's probably one of the smallest maps, and it's 3 base as well, which is unusual for such a small map to be 3 base. This could easily be a 2 base map. And then 1 airport over here in the middle. So you got your strong side over here, it's gonna be pushing forward, and your 1 base over here. Most of the fight is gonna happen over here in these cities and maybe some of these. So let's slowly get into the match because it is such a tiny map. There isn't much to talk about, but it is a very aggressive map. I'll have to put on screen maybe what tier this match was, but we have Sammy. So I think this was probably a tier 2 matchup if Sammy's here, because she should be pretty good over here. You got these really fast infantry attacking, even mechs are very viable. So Sammy's definitely a decent pick in tier 2, I would say. Maybe, Max is probably the best, but it's probably like Max and Sammy. And we have Adder, and so something that is very common. Of course, you're gonna this base is gonna go for that base first, always. But the other thing is that these cities are very, very contested. Specifically, this one, you see, it's like right in front of the bases. You can see, and so the one base, something that's very common is to skip this city, and skip this one to just try to rush this city right here. Because if you can get it super early, it's really hard to flip. It doesn't matter who gets it early, it's really hard to flip. But the thing is that this player can do 1-2 turns, capture it. And this player can do 1-2 turns, interrupt, but not capture. So this base will try to very greedily try to rush the city. And of course, we see Tesla doing that and not... I'm not gonna say Sknaton, it's just such a hard word to say. Hampelman, I'm just gonna say his main account, Hampelman. We're not seeing him do that, although he could really, because you can't really interrupt Sammy's captures, so that would definitely be something that he could go for, but it's not gonna do that, but is gonna skip this city right here to try to point at that, because this guy is gonna want to capture that. So already, I have to change the direction of these guys. Let's go like that. There you go. Already very early on, day 3, you are starting to already see the pressure, the infantry pressure. And in Sammy, infantry are really strong. But if Hampelman would have skipped this city, I think this capture would have been surely guaranteed. Actually, it is still guaranteed, because even if Tesla moves this guy over here, then you can start the capture, you attack, you finish the capture. So maybe that's why Hampelman felt like he could... go for this first, skip the whole super greedy rushing the city, because as being Sammy, you can still get it. The thing is that this is the one base, so it's gonna get really tricky if you get into that back and forth. It's very common to see, like, you send an infantry, you interrupt, you bring another to attack, then you send another one, and you just keep like this chain of infantry just going forward and forward and forward to attack on the city. It's gonna be very, very quickly. It's gonna be bad for this base, because you still have to capture all these things and your airport, and it is your one base. Like this base can do that. It can afford to just keep sending infantry, because this one will get captured, and then infantry will start moving and capturing other stuff. So let's see what happens. Hampelman is gonna go for that city right there, not even threatening Tesla here, because it's Sammy. So I'm not gonna put it over here. Actually gonna go here to maybe get this city. Gonna get that airport as well first, and we are gonna go for that interrupt. Look at that, 8-5. Only Sammy can do that. So Tesla is gonna still fight on, leaves gets dropped down to 1 HP, but does actually get the KO on that infantry, and it is still very strong to have this 1 HP infantry. This means it can block, so that it can be a big deal. So now we'll just have to wait and see if Hampelman wants to keep attacking onto here, or if he wants to start capturing stuff over here, because Tesla is completely devoted to getting the city. Like, keep skipping this city. Like, there has been 4 infantry, well, these 3 that have not gone for that 1 turn city from the one base. Hampelman is gonna go for that airport, gonna get this middle city, which is a little chain over here, and it's actually going to attack this other infantry in that city and bring another infantry to cover it. Still not going for that back city. And as he gets this one, the city right here. So it's possible that Hampelman can also get this city as well. Tesla's gonna pull that 1 HP infantry and do the exact same as before, using the 5 HP. Now it gets a little bit of a better roll, dropping it down to 2, and then finish it off with that other infantry. Let's see if this other infantry comes here to support. Yes, it does. It does not go for that neutral capture over there. It doesn't go for this other really fast capture. It's actually gonna try to rush that airport. So there's a lot of important decisions to do here, capture phase wise. Like, you can, send this one really fast or go back. Like, there's a lot of things to decide where you send your infantry. And this whole battle for the city, it is pretty meta nowadays. I think if you don't do this, then your opponent can just lock them down like this and then deny your 2 cities, and then you're just behind 2k income. And this is a very low income map. So being behind 1 or 2k income is just deadly. So, and Haberman is not gonna go again to attack this guy. He's actually gonna finish off the 2 HP guy. Not gonna sit next to this city. Just having those extra stats of defense from the city is gonna be really nice, as well as using the forest. So overall, I think Haberman lost 2 infantry and Tesla lost 1.9 infantry. And we're gonna get our first artillery over here from Tesla. And we got our first mech over here from Hampelman. Remember, Sknaton is no tanks. So Hampelman cannot make tanks. He has to do everything without making tanks. And I guess with Sammy, it's like more okay-ish, no? Like her ideal composition is artillery, mech, anti-air, and infantry. So definitely a decent CO to go for this kind of challenge. And now Tesla is capturing these 2 cities, kind of posing a big threat of like, okay, do you still keep interrupting here? As he sends another infantry to back this up. Just completely skipping these cities and falling behind on income. You can look at the income, like Hampelman has 8k, and Tesla is at 7. And this is at the beginning of the turn of Hampelman. So really falling behind on income. As now Hampelman will get 1, 2, 3, 4 captures, bringing that to 12. I think next turn, if nothing is interrupted here, then Tesla would be back to even. But still, like that little 1k, 2k a turn in the early stages can be a pretty big deal. So finally securing these 2 cities for Hampelman. Gonna bring that mech, gonna finish off that guy and get the little interrupt here. So Tesla can no longer use the forest here, which would not be very ideal though now that the space is, has been pumping out a few infantry. You got this guy kind of pointing at that forest as well, and it's gonna make an artillery here. And saving up a lot of funds. You can see it has 8k. He could have made another artillery or maybe made another mech, but no. It's gonna save 8k. Why? We'll see. Maybe. I don't know. It was a mistake. Who knows? But we're gonna do the same thing. Attack there and finish it off with another guy. It brings yet another infantry. Let's keep skipping. Day 7 and this city has not been captured. It is to that point that this is so important to do. And so meta at the beginning in this match, and the greediness from Tesla, but because he's forced to, because he has a tier 4 CO, like he has to go for these greedy captures. Cannot allow Sammy to get this, and he needs to secure as early as possible, because as soon as these units from the second base start moving forward, there's just no absolute way that Tesla can get the city. So we'll see if he's able to. Got this artillery now locking down these 2 cities. Gonna make it really awkward for Hampelman to protect these captures. You definitely are gonna have to sit back, but I can definitely see this artillery just like covering both cities and then starting captures and forcing a fight. So we're gonna bring these guys. We're gonna finish off that infantry and bring a few more. Gonna be in range of this mountain as well. Sammy infantry in a mountain is deadly. And this artillery seems to go towards the side. So I want to try to lock down these properties. So definitely the better CO here is for sure Sammy. I think especially with how many infantry, such a low income, you got 3 bases. I think she has more opportunities. You got the infantry and the mechs. You got the double time is a really good power as well, not to be overlooked. But it's maybe the challenge of the tanks can make it tricky. She does like to have like a tank or 2. It does help out to maintain that flexibility. But I would definitely favor Sammy, of course. Here we're gonna get Tesla try to go for only 1 capture at a time and locking down here. You could have gone with the artillery behind here to kind of protect both, but you got the mech. Would have just blasted that artillery. Probably 1 shot. I don't know, but at least leaves it at like 1 or something. Maybe without the comm tower, So maybe with a com tower it would maybe KO it. I don't know. Doesn't really matter. We're gonna interrupt this capture over here and lock that down with this artillery right there. And yeah, it looks like Tesla is just not gonna get this city. And we're gonna interrupt here, bring this artillery, and next turn it'll be able to lock both of them down. And builds a Neo tank. Wow. Remember, no tanks, but he can make medium tanks and Neo tanks and mega tanks. So, and Tesla has no answer, just 13k. He'd have to do just triple infantry this turn to then have enough funds next turn to make a Neo tank. Gonna still attack here, although in range of this artillery. Finish that off. Are we gonna joint cap? Okay, we're gonna use a fresh infantry. And then just accumulating infantry over here. So like trying to keep that trade going, like keep sending infantry, I kill them off, I send another one, I have 2 bases, I'm gonna have more units. We're gonna finally get the com tower in this city. So now Hampelman is done capturing his stuff. Also has these 2, which is really great. Has denied this one from Tesla with this artillery lock and this one. So it's looking really good for Hampelman right now. Ahead on unit value, it's looking very, very solid. I'm gonna shoot at that guy, pull back, finish it off. Okay. Not sure if that's worth because now you're gonna lose another infantry. But we're gonna do this. We're gonna take this guy out and probably put the artillery behind. One of these guys is gonna die with artillery, but got the mech as well. I got this Neo tank, this like menacing Neo tank is covering everything. If like say this anti decides to attack something, this Neo tank can kill it. It's like right on the middle, kind of covering everything. And Tesla doesn't save up for a Neo tank, right? He's just gonna make more artillery. So looking really dangerous for Tesla. We're gonna almost take that guy out, finish that one, take that guy out, and kinda, I mean, I guess you're fine. Yeah, this is fine. It's defended by the artillery, but you gotta be super careful. No, you gotta have everything protected by artillery from this Neo tank. So we're gonna protect this artillery with these 2 infantry. If only Hampelman had something to break this and then attack with a Neo tank, but no. And now this turn, yes, Tesla is gonna do triple infantry, saving up 11k. Next time with 14k, he's gonna have 25, so it's gonna be able to make a Neo tank probably. So we're gonna shoot at that guy. I'm gonna start this capture. So Hampelman is not content with just like income advantage and sitting back. He does have the no tanks challenge, although honestly it seems like Tesla is following the no tanks challenge because I see no tanks being built from him. Just artillery, recons, anti-air. So it's like, oh, you want to do no tanks? I'll do no tanks as well. We'll see if he keeps on with that or if he makes tanks. It'd definitely be different if he would be making tanks. He's making it even more of a challenge. And now Hampelman makes a medium tank over here. So getting that mech chain over here, you got a medium tank as well. Gonna really try to lock down these 2, double artillery. So yeah, it's looking really good for Sammy, honestly. So we're gonna interrupt over here. This Neo tank is absolutely menacing. We're gonna get the double artillery, but the Neo tank is there to cover both artillery. So it's not like this Neo tank can do much. Really great positioning by Tesla, honestly, because these front units are covered by the artilleries, and then the artilleries are covered by the Neo tank. So really great job. There's nothing this artillery can really shoot at without getting attacked back. And we're just gonna pull back over here and just try to set up for later. But pointing at multiple cities, right? Got this guy pointing at this one, these 2 pointing over here, these guys pointing over here, got this one pointing over here. So I got these 4 cities under threat right now. So you gotta be careful. Medium tank is gonna loop over towards the middle, and we're gonna keep these guys here, locking these cities. I'm gonna have these guys protecting these cities, and brings the Neo tank towards the middle, just kind of like controlling the area, and forcing Tesla into awkward positions, at least until this Neo tank comes into the map. once this new tank is into a map, then this new tank has to respect it, and the orbits are gonna be like forcing each other away. And Hampelman's just gonna pull back over here. Just gonna have this little mech train here and the artillery, and ooh, okay, we're gonna break through here to probably get the recon shot onto that artillery, which is gonna help Tesla with dealing with his Neo tank, because he has a Neo tank and 2 artilleries. If you can take out the artilleries, there isn't that many, so it can be helpful. And it's also what was being used to kind of lock this down. It's not locking down the city anymore, so he's free to go for that capture. And I'll probably just put his artillery behind. There you go. And yeah, this Neo tank can't really shoot at much without, you know, getting attacked back by this Neo tank. So gonna make it really awkward here for Hampelman. Gonna use the mech to take out that recon, and okay, takes out the anti-air. But ooh, this Neo tank is gonna destroy this one. There's no artillery. Like, this one is at 5 HP. But maybe he feels fine. Unless you make another Neo tank here and you just double base skip. That would be risky. Maybe? No. Okay. Copter, anti-air. Oof. That's a dangerous play right there. I think it would be fine to just do the mech kill on the recon and then just like chill back. Maybe put the Neo tank over here and have this artillery over here so it repairs. So if it decides to come and attack, you can hit back. You can also even have this medium tank in range to attack back. But this might be an opportunity for Tesla. It's these little moments where he finds holes, gets these KOs and stuff. We will have to see. But here he goes. He's gonna sacrifice an infantry to guarantee probably this 4-8. And then we're gonna take out a mech. Finish these 2 captures with which Hampelman decided not to interrupt, which is crazy. But still, at even income, I think Sammy is still way better than Adder, especially in this map. We got 4 artilleries here from Tesla. And Hampelman has to back off from over here. Just got a very good trade here in this battle. And it's like, what are you gonna do? Like, you can shoot here, do like 1 damage with artillery. And then if you shoot back, then you're gonna lose both. And this Neo tank will still be alive. So definitely not a good little setup here. A good fight here from Tesla. And doesn't use the power either. Just went at it, no powers, getting that full charge going. Still seems like Tesla is going for that no tanks challenge as well. And backing up from over here and pulling everything over here onto the middle. Just joining all the vehicles, whole army in the middle. Try to really win that little fight, which brings up the value for Tesla. Got that little shot there, the 2 damage. This guy's gonna heal up. But this stuff is kind of gonna die. Like, this artillery can just take this guy out. Gotta make another artillery, bring this medium tank. And it is very tricky, right? Well, tanks, you can really notice the difference here. It's such a weird match. Like, no flexibility, no like quick attacks. It's just like artilleries waiting for those big take-ups. So got a Neo tank and a medium tank. Tesla has 1 Neo tank in the whole map. Now we have copters. And we're gonna start to have anti-airs as well, which they'll be your sort of tanks. You know, anti-airs do pretty good damage against most vehicles, or like lighter vehicles, say like anti-air, like artillery. So we're gonna kind of set up here, take that artillery out, bring this copter out of range, and he has the super ready. So at all times, Hampelman has to be careful. Oh, I don't know if you've noticed, but yeah. I hope that didn't break your ears, but I got a new microphone. So hopefully the audio is better. And when I move, I hope the audio gets even better. So that's gonna be awesome. Just trying to improve the quality of the videos. Feel like the other microphone that I had was pretty good, but it was very limited. I was kind of like, I couldn't really move it around. And this one, I do have that chance. So that's pretty cool. Plus, I got that podcast going with Go 7. So gotta get that audio sounding nice and crisp. And we're gonna really pull back here in this defense. But exposing this anti-air to this Neo tank is questionable to say the least. Like, we're gonna make another one because this one is exposed. But you can see how much of a threat this is posing. Just the +1 or +2 movement from Tesla. But I feel like Hampelmann could also be putting the pressure with the double tap. You don't have to wait until Victory March. That the double time infantry are really strong. What does it give it, like 50% attack? I think you go from 30 to 50, or maybe it's 40. I don't know. But yeah, you jump from 140 with a com tower to like, I don't know, 160 or 170. It's really, really strong. And Tesla is going to use side slip. So you know what that means. He's going in. Sees the opportunity. He smells blood. He's going to go in. So a Neo tank is going to KO that anti-air. This copter's going to come in and doesn't KO that mech. Not sure if that's possible though. But we are going to KO that infantry over there. And use all of those +1 movements to KO a few more infantry. Get a shot onto that mech. Get another shot over there. Bring the artilleries to get all nice and set up here. And with all these rivers, these river tiles, it's going to make it really awkward to try to break through. Like, if you want to kill the copter, you need this anti-air to move over here and kill it. But for that, you need to kill this infantry. And for that, this artillery has to move away. But this artillery is going to want to kill that Neo tank. Well, not kill it, but there's just so many things. Like, this artillery wants to shoot at the Neo tank and the artillery, but this anti-air also wants to kill this copter. So just overwhelming with units. And although it seemed that like Hampelmann had a nice defense of like, okay, I got everything covered. If he decides to come and attack, I got coverage. Not really. With really great tactics and finds like this, you can block stuff off. And then what they thought they had perfect coverage of, they actually don't. So that's something that Tesla is really good at. Yeah. Bring everything. This infantry is even gonna start this capture. And yeah, more infantry going towards the side, try to reinforce. Got the triple artillery with another one over here. And I moved the map, sorry about that. Gonna edit that later. And just pulling back over here to, and sitting on the properties, also very important, because you know that Victory March might be incoming. Gotta be careful. So we'll see what Hampelmann can do, but this looked like a really nice turn. But also the crazy thing is that even after all that, if you look at the unit value, it's looking very decent for Hampelmann. So maybe that's not enough for Tesla, but doesn't decide to go and engage over here. I wonder, was there an opportunity here? Maybe. Not really, I guess. You can't really attack this artillery. Yeah, tricky. So Hampelmann is going to decide to bring the vehicles over here from the left towards the middle, try to reinforce from this and defend from this attack. Just crazy that this is the 2-base side of Hampelmann. Let's see if he decides to interrupt. Actually, okay, so I'm going to move up the artillery. We're going to sacrifice another one. Oh! Doesn't get the kill on that infantry. Oof, hate to see that. Wow, so not only was he not even to, like, he conceded the opportunity to attack a Neo tank to try to kill this copter, he wasn't even able to get that copter because of this 1 HP infantry. It is gonna kill that recon, so this was just like a great attack by Tesla now. Was able to break through, kill that anti-air, killed a bunch of units, and force this awkward position by Hampelmann, and got away with it. Like, this copter is gonna, go away, how do you say? Like, free of any injury, and this guy as well, and all these as well. Insane. Just gonna pull back, make more artilleries, Could probably make another mech instead. I don't know. But you kind of do need the artillery to deal with this Neo tank. So really tricky stuff. And we're getting super close to that victory march. So let's see now. Tesla's gonna sacrifice an infantry to get a shot there with the anti-air, with a copter, and now uses side slip. And is it maybe for this Neo tank to come and take this out? Okay, artillery takes out a mech. Yeah, there goes the Neo tank. Gonna take that Neo tank out. Copter is gonna attack that copter. It did have coverage, but still, we're bringing down these copters that are definitely gonna want to help try to deal with Neo tank. And anti-air is gonna attack that artillery, so it no longer is a threat to that Neo tank. It's gonna get taken out. And bring these guys forward and get a few more taps here. Just injure the infantry. Make it so Sammy doesn't have healthy infantry, nor infantry in position, in range, to capture stuff with Victory March, because Victory March is ready. So it's gonna pull back. Could have like, I don't know, try to go for some base locking thing, but it's probably not a good idea. I think very interesting here. Approach by Tesla. Attacked here, Hampelmann brought everything, and then Tesla, instead of staying here to I'm gonna keep attacking, when actually, you know, I'm actually gonna attack the other army, the army that you brought. So this army becomes useless, and this one got wrecked. So even though Tesla doesn't have tanks, he's using that position and that flexibility to whittle down the army from Hampelmann. And now, yes, the army difference is starting to catch up. Although they're equal income, Hampelmann is behind like 30,000 in value and down like 10 units. So not ideal. Copter's gonna go down. Ooh, doesn't get the kill on that anti-air. Is not gonna use Victory March, so he's gonna try to save it to try to like pose a threat, you know. You could, you know, attempt to go for an HQ cap with a Victory March. Definitely a viable thing, and these makes a very scary Victory March. They move 4 tiles. Like this guy could go and shoot this artillery. That is pretty crazy. So we're gonna get some kills there, take out the anti-air almost, but now there's nothing to kill this copter. Bring the medium tank and another one on the way. And yeah, this is just no tanks against no tanks. They're both just going no tanks. One is Adder and the other one is Sammy. What a crazy match. When was the last time you saw a match like this where no one went with tanks? It's almost as if tanks were banned. We're gonna heal up this guy. This copter is gonna go unpunished. Mechs are gonna move slowly. I think Hampelmann now is like, okay, I'm behind. Really, really great attacks and tactics by Tesla. I was doing great at the beginning. He somehow, well, I got a little bit greedy here with a little Neo tank thing and kind of got pushed back, and now Tesla has the army advantage, but I still have the super. Sammy's Victory March is deadly. It is the only power in the game that can literally end the game that same turn. I mean, unless I don't know, you're Eagle and you kill every single unit or something, but she can just tap the HQ and wins. So definitely something that Tesla has to respect, and I think that's probably what Hampelmann has in the back of his mind. Trying to prepare for, you gotta build it up. You know, it's not something that you just rush into. You gotta slowly build into it. Ooh, this artillery. Did he get a shot? I think it did. Okay, so artillery is gonna go down. Boom. I'm gonna start this capture. Tesla obviously has to respect the, as you see, an artillery just sitting on the HQ and Neo tank as well here. Just gonna try to set up a defense. Not gonna allow Sammy to comfortably set up a Victory March. You have to consider that at all times now, there's the threat of the +2 movement. Like, yes, ideally you would want to go for the HQ cap, right? So, okay, you set up a defense. But maybe you don't get an HQ cap, but you get a really great turn where you can, with the +2 movement and plus firepower, you can, I don't know, every mech can shoot at an artillery. Look at how every artillery is far away from these mechs. because this mech, it can move all the way to these planes, so it could shoot at the artillery if it was right here. So all these artilleries have to be so far away from these mechs. It's like these mechs have the range of a rocket almost. I mean, yeah, with Victory March, and they will KO those artilleries, believe me. So Tesla having to really keep that distance really far away from Sammy's mechs, and you can see Hampaman being like, okay, I need to go for that HQ cap. It is maybe my only win condition because I'm so far behind on army. I think you could be fine since the income is equal. I think you could be fine. You do have the better CO and you have the super, but just kind of going really greedy with the position and exposing these artilleries to this new tank seems a little bit of an oversight, I think. Like, yes, you do have coverage with this new tank, but there's so many artilleries. So Tesla's going to use the power, and I think he's going to attempt to try to break through these guys. Because if you allow Sammy one more turn of positioning, then it's going to be really hard to hold that HQ. You can definitely just put the Neo tank on that HQ, honestly. Just leave it there. Sammy's not going to take it down. But maybe he doesn't want to allow multiple cities to get captured as well. So that could be a pretty big deal. Capturing 4 cities in one turn would bring the income to 12 versus 20k, which is absolutely ridiculous. So Tesla looks like he is going to jump in to attack. Gonna even put this medium tank on the city. Like, he's gonna do an attack, but at the same time gonna have to be careful for a possible Victory March. So we're gonna take out a few infantry, a mech even. And the worst thing is that tech ups are like something that Sammy hates to deal with because she has worse tech ups and her ideal composition of mechs and infantry don't do anything to them. So ideally she's just fighting lighter vehicles so mechs can just go wild and absolutely destroy all of your light vehicles with a Victory March. So it makes it really awkward over here. And has to rely on artillery and weaker tech ups to deal with them. So again, another mech, and this other mech is gonna get injured. Gonna even start this capture to be really annoying, but I think actually is gonna get it because this guy is the only one in range. I guess you can KO this guy and then this infantry can Victory March interrupt this, but forcing a very awkward and absolutely non-ideal Victory March from Sammy. That is the plan. This artillery has to go and sit here. Oh, the copter, okay. Smart, yeah. Because nothing can kill that copter. So even if like stuff breaks through here, which is definitely possible, I mean, it would be really disappointing if Tesla forgot to put something on that HQ, because you could easily break through here, and then this infantry walks tuk, 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 and captures HQ and GG. But yeah, puts the copter on the HQ, so that HQ is going to be safe this turn. Nothing can reach it. And it's going to pull back here, put the artillery there, so it can't get KO'd. And yeah, so these properties are safe from a Victory March, this one as well. Even flipping a property, it seems like. And this one is safe, this one is safe. This one is probably safe as well. This one could be flipped over, but yeah, looking very rough for Sammy right now. Very hard to deal with all these overwhelming units. Got a little bit of exposed and caught, how do you say? Caught off guard. And lots of units got picked off. With less units, you have 24 against 40. It's going to be really hard to break through the units to actually have an effective Victory March. So it's looking really bad for Sammy right now. I'm not gonna lie. Copter, gonna clean up that. Not actually when I use Victory March, when I use double time. What can Hampelman do, honestly? Doesn't even get the KO on that infantry. Doesn't get that other KO. Doesn't get that other KO. That extra defense is just being really, really annoying. We're gonna use some mechs to shoot at this medium tank. Get that. Finish that with a mech. Just taking out infantry. And do we go for the interrupt in the middle? we're gonna use mechs to shoot at a Neo tank, and then use that other Neo tank. Okay, so this Neo tank cannot be shot at except by these maybe with a power. And okay, that one's nice, I guess. Just does 3 damage though, but still looking really rough for Sammy. Below on unit count, unit value, and just the position over here looks very risky. Like there's not a lot of unit count. All of these foot soldiers are gonna get picked off, I think, by Adder very easily. And once Sammy doesn't have foot soldiers, it's not ideal. So there you go, boom. We're gonna take that out. We're gonna take that infantry out, and that mech and that other infantry. You can start to see foot soldiers are going down left and right. Even this this medium tank is able to attack this Neo tank and take that one out, injure this mech, and yeah, just set up again. And now without the threat of a victory march, then you get a little bit more comfortable. You don't have to be too cautious of where you put your stuff and your properties and your HQ. Like, I don't think there's any way that that Hanselman can get a victory march. So, can Sammy bring this back? Oof, it's looking really bad. I mean, Sammy is the better CEO, but the position is looking really good for Tesla. We'll have to see. And Tesla is not a player that has many mistakes really, like tactically, and the kind of attacks that he gets into. We'll see. Not a lot of foot soldiers here for Sammy, so not a lot of opportunities for double time or victory march. Most of them are over here, but they can't do much. The only thing that they could do is with these properties, but these are very safe, and Tesla has enough infantry to ward this attack off. Got a few mechs as well. It almost feels like mechs here are not gonna do much in this kind of hand shook non-tanks challenge. I guess they can do pretty decent against artillery, but with a power. Yeah, they need a power to hit those artilleries, or with a victory march even, much better. But then they could shoot at recons and anti-airs. But as long as Tesla makes a lot of medium tanks and copters, those mechs, like, they do really great against infantry, right? But they're not what you want mechs to be doing. So we're gonna take that out, gonna even clean this up, take down these two artilleries, both go down, take that mech out. Look how the unit count is just absolutely dropping here. Gonna block this anti-air in here even. Whoosh. Bring all these artillery together, like boom, 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 boom. Looks like a grip play here. So completely unattackable here. The only thing that could attack them is this copter, but it's a Sammy copter against Von Baldstadt's copter. It's not ideal, and Hanselman gives up and resigns. Oof, what a game. GG to both. Congrats to Tesla. Very fun and funny game. No tanks challenge imposed to himself by Hanselman in this alt, and then Tesla following that challenge as well, not making a single tank. Look, if you don't believe me, let's open the stats. You will see built no tanks here by Tesla or Sknat on. No tanks whatsoever. And even actually looking at the generated funds, it looks like they were even. It was the beginning of the turn of Sammy, so yeah, they were even. There was 4 powers, 4 side slips by Adder, and just 1 double time by Sammy. I think the game kind of got decided. Well, not decided, but it started to look bad for Hanselman. So around here, it was totally fine in my opinion. I think here Sammy was doing fine. He had the 2k income lead, and which had built to unit value lead, like you can see at the end of the turn. I mean, I guess yeah, you didn't build, but still, like Hanselman was doing great in value. This Neo tank was posing such a threat everywhere. It wasn't until Tesla that he made this Neo tank right here that this Neo tank was neutralized. But even then, still posing a threat over here, so Tesla had to really respect it. And it was this turn, I think. Oh, that was pretty deadly. Just going for these bolt kills, like Anti-air going to kill this infantry and then the recon hitting here. I think you should be fine with maybe killing this recon, like pull this, like move this off, send this to heal, and just take it out with the recon. Then you bring the Neo tank, I don't know, wherever. It doesn't really matter. You can put it on this bridge, but there's no need, I think, to expose like this, because I think it was from here that Tesla was able to find the slight vehicle advantages little by little with these attacks. From here, boom, you get the attack. This artillery was already injured, so it wasn't really defending this Neo tank. Going into attack, joining the armies, making this little death ball of like artilleries and copters, and you know, it has to move back. Like, yeah, you got a shot there, but it was still better for Tesla here overall. Now this artillery is gonna die from the artillery, gonna heal up, and then after having pulled back this army, now Tesla can shift all this army that was built up here and try to go towards this side, which is where these tech-ups are not. There's only mechs and artillery and like foot soldiers. This long wall of infantry. And so even more justified as Alphaman decides to send the tech-ups to this side to try to attack over here, which I think is really tricky because now it opens the opportunity for Tesla to, boom, go for this attack, which this turn really solidified that advantage. The position that he gains here is insane. Just got away with killing this anti-air and killed so many other units, like injured 4 or 5 foot soldiers, boom. Like these 2 mechs, all these infantry here, and the copter goes unpunished, Neo tank as well. And then these guys that had run away over here now come back, and it's like, I don't know where to go. So ever since, just losing vehicle advantage slowly, you know, little by little, and then even pouncing on this army over here that tried to come back. Just really great by Tesla, honestly. Very funny that they played the No Tanks challenge and Tesla was able to win that challenge. Hey, he won the No Tanks challenge against the guy that does No Tanks pretty often. I think it just comes to show what a great player that Tesla is, honestly, and I think people will easily overlook Tesla's abilities. So, anyways, great match. I hope you guys liked it. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.